the day, everyone gathered by the fire. It's the perfect way to have their say, so let's go back and do it the old-fashioned way. Chickasaw needs change, time to flip to a new page. So it's time to inquire with another question by the campfire. So welcome back, neighbor. Welcome back, neighbor.
Hello, friends and neighbors. I know it's been a minute since we put one of these videos out, but I think it's about that time. We're about 6 minutes away from the elections, so I think I need to go ahead and do this. But we have changed some things up just a little bit.
What you talking about, Willis?
Okay, maybe that's not the original, but oh well.
What you talking about, Willis?
So what I'm talking about is I want to go ahead and change this around a little bit to where we're sticking to the facts. We're sticking to what's going on in our city. And it's what I've been doing ever since I began. But my platform has always been, I guess, really amateur. And I'm trying to get better at it. So please bear with me. So let's go ahead and start with our first question. Is there going to be mudslinging at this election? I'm praying that there's not going to be any. But then again, when you got this amount of people in one city, it's hard to tell. I know the candidates don't like it. The community as a whole doesn't like it, but I'm starting to see things that happening now that started happening last election, like fake profiles coming out, people opening up pages on Facebook and then not allowing certain people in so they get messages only out to others, and it's dirty pool is what it is, and we don't need to be doing all that. Okay. As far as I know, I know of two of the candidates, and I know that both candidates are more than willing to speak to anybody about anything, and that's the way it needs to be. At some point, hopefully, we'll be having a debate. That way, we can go ahead and stop the mudslinging before it even gets started. At the last election, the candidates were responsible for what their supporters were saying and doing, and I don't think that's right, and I don't think we should do that this time. If you really care about your candidate, I wouldn't start the mudslinging. I wouldn't talk to the talking behind their back. As much as I hate to say it, we learned the hard way. At the last election, people had fake profiles and were making false accusations. People were in private groups talking about candidates where they couldn't even defend themselves. And I mean, there was even a $5 million lawsuit that got involved that continued after the election. So it was a nasty, nasty election. And I'm hoping that we don't have to go through that again. And I'm sure that the candidates, as well as the city, doesn't want to do that. Now, you're going to have your few people that are going to instigate. They're going to push buttons, and they're going to try to get something going because social media is their life. That's what they do. They live out their life through social media. And if they get one person mad at another person, it makes them happy. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. Okay, the next question is, what do voters want? Voters want somebody that's going to be able to get into the office and get things done. And to do that, you got to make sure you have qualified people for those positions. You can't just hire anybody to go in there and do it. When we vote in a mayor and we vote in a council, we hire them because they can do the job that needs to be done. Now, it doesn't mean that the mayor can do the job all by himself. Okay, before Broadhead took office, each councilman had a different position that they held where they were concentrated on one certain part of the city. One had finances, one had police and fire, one had parks and recreations. And they did that way those people can focus on it because not one man can do this job by himself. So that was stopped. I don't know why he did that, but he did. And that's why everything's all over the place. So we need someone that's qualified to know how to run a business, know how to run a city, how to be a leader, how to delegate authority, and put people where they need to be to make everything a success. Another one is transparency. We need to know what's going on. For 4.5 years, we've been left in the dark. They pass ordinances at these council meetings, but nobody knows what's going on. Nobody tells us what they mean. You got 5 other people besides the mayor that can say, okay, this is what this ordinance is about. Before the pandemic, they did YouTube, where they held the council meetings on YouTube so that everybody could see what was going on. Once they went back in person, they stopped doing YouTube. They don't do Facebook Live. They kept it as secret as possible. Hell, the first thing the mayor did was go ahead and make a ordinance stating that nobody could talk at the council meetings because he didn't want to hear what they had to say. And it's been that way ever since. We need that to stop. We need a mayor that's going to listen to the people and do what we say. And the first thing is transparency. We need to see what's going on. There's ways to handle things. Let's bring me to my next point. This book right here, our mayor didn't even read. He never had any idea what this was. He ran the city by talking to the lawyer, which the lawyer charged us for this. Our first 3 or 4 months in office, his first 3 or 4 months in office, he expended all the money that we had budgeted for our attorney fees just on the lawyers, trying to figure out what's going on with how to run the city, getting in the middle of a civil lawsuit that was going on, trying to suppress evidence in that, supplying attorneys for people. And it was outrageous. We don't need to make the same mistakes over and over again, because when you make the same mistakes over again, it's crazy. It's insane. It's not what we need to be doing. What we need to be focusing on right now is our future. During the last election, one of the biggest problems we had was that the candidates spent more time discussing what happened in their past and trying to defend themselves than actually getting to what the Chickasaw needed, trying to get the answers that what everybody wanted. The best way to find out about a candidate is not listen to someone that's been in the city forever, or not somebody that's got their own private page dedicated to 1 or 2 candidates, or not someone that's going to sit there and talk bad about another candidate. You need to talk to the candidates you have questions about. A lot of these candidates, they're out, they're open, they're willing to speak to most anybody. Just go talk to them, ask them what's their plans, what do they see for the future of Chickasaw, how are they going to make changes. If you have something that you want to see done, ask them what are they going to do about this, what are they going to do about that. They're approachable. So the only thing I can say is that I really don't want to see 6 months of fighting and mudslinging and just all that crap going on again. It took a toll on everybody. Like I said, people were hurt with that. Lawsuits were filed. It kept a divide for the past 4.5 years. We don't need that divide. We need to come together as a community so we can enjoy one another. Yes, some people are going to not like other people. That's the way it works. This is a small community. Gossiping is going to go around 24/7. But when it comes to something as important as who's going to run our city and who's going to manage our taxpayers' dollars, we need to come together and look at this like adults. And again, like I said before, don't listen to the people that are sitting there saying, well, this person did this person did that. I think this person's this. No. Go talk to the people. It's that simple. The only other thing I got to bring up is try to remember that when somebody questions one of the politicians with a hard question, doesn't mean that they're trying to start a fight or start trouble. They're generally asking them a question. So it doesn't mean everybody, all the supporters need to jump on that person or whatever. If it's a legitimate question, let the politicians answer those questions for themselves. Not every question is an attack. And I think that got lost last election as well. So ask your questions, talk to your candidates, do your research, not somebody else's, yours. Get the answers you need. God bless Chickasaw, and God bless all my neighbors.